1.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Blake, the door is open. You know I can't do the show with the door open.
I got it.
Oh gosh.
I got it.
Oh, the stress level is too much. Just joking, guys. But no, I do need that door closed because my OCD controls my brain. And I just want to say thank you guys for joining us here on Bollocks this evening. And Lenny, what studio are we in?
We're, of course, in the ever-loving Bozard Ford studio here in beautiful, sometimes St. Augustine.
Sometimes St. Augustine. I think we're just out of St. Augustine limits, but we're still and always in the 904.
In our hearts.
All right, and we're talking about Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
Set sail for adventure at the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, mateys, home to the world's largest and most authentic collection of pirate artifacts. Explore over 800 relics across 40 immersive exhibits, including Thomas Tew's original pirate chest, Blackbeard's blunderbuss, and gold from the Queen Anne's Revenge. You'll get to see one of the only 3 authentic Jolly Roger flags left in the world. Curated by Pat Croce and the Croce family, it's a journey through real pirate history right in downtown St. Augustine at 12 South Castillo Drive. Come experience the golden age of piracy.
Arg.
Piracy.
All right, and we're talking about Brightway Insurance. Since 2008, Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency, has been guiding St. Augustine through hurricanes, floods, fires, and more. Led by longtime local Ashley Casey, this is insurance done the brighter way. No confusing jargon, no one-size-fits-all policies, just clear guidance, multiple quotes, and customized coverage that protects what matters most. With deep roots in our community and decades of experience, Ashley and his team make insurance simple, affordable, and personal. Visit them on the island at 108 Seagrove Main Street or call 904-217-7547. Brightway, the brighter way to do insurance.
If you're feeling a little bit peckish or downright hungry, experience the art of Italian dining at Saint, nestled in the heart of historic St. Augustine. From handmade pastas to rich risottos and indulgent tiramisu. Every dish blends authentic Italian flavor with modern elegance. What a beautiful build-out that is as well. Sip the craft cocktail, savor seasonal ingredients, and enjoy breathtaking views from their second-floor balcony or rooftop patio, where you can take in the bayfront and even spot the lighthouse on a clear day, which is not today, unfortunately. At Saint, every meal is a celebration. Join us there and elevate your dining experience. It's delightful and tasty.
All right, and we have many other sponsors we got to say thank you to. We have Solar Stick, Abear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, Meehan's Irish Pub, ate there last night, wonderful. Bryson, you did an awesome job. A.D. Davis Construction, Land Title of America, Kaiser's Deli and Market, St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. You guys have a good trip. I understand you're going out of town and you have an amazing trip scheduled. Anastasia Diner.
And Moultrie Creek Diner.
Exactly, those pancakes. Woo.
Oh, baby. Good stuff.
All right. Mr. Electric, appreciate you guys also. And we just hope you guys are out there supporting these wonderful businesses, buying local, because that is the way we sustain ourselves. All right.
So did you have the chicken curry last night, or did you go outside your comfort zone?
We split a burger,
Okay.
and then we did the mac and cheese, and we were going to do the wing appetizers. They did not have that, so I ordered another kid's tender
right?
to create another appetizer there. But I did the curry. I did a side of curry to dip the
tenders in?
Nope, the chips in.
Okay. I'm liking that.
The French fries in.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a wonderful dip away from the ketchup. But we split the Dolenberg.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All
I
right.
like they've got that new Irish Cuban.
Oh yeah.
And that sandwich looks good. I had it the last time we were there a couple weeks ago, and it was very delicious.
So, all right. We never got to this topic yesterday. Blake, your first Bollocks back.
Hello.
All the Bollocks boys are here.
Yes,
Right.
I am here. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah,
Good.
and I didn't change my shirt, but I did change my hat, so I look completely different this morning.
And I was thinking about that on the ride in today. I was going to ask you, you ever watch the Great British Baking Show?
No.
Okay. My wife's addicted, and she's got me hooked on it, so I'll watch the new ones. She's gone back, I don't know, 15 seasons, give or take. And now there's the Canadian British Baking Show and the American British Baking Show. I think that it's just the American Baking Show, but it's all the same format. And I think they fly the Americans over to England to use the same freaking marquee, which is a tent. But it's supposedly over like the span of 3 days.
Okay.
And they say, all right, well, tomorrow's a different event, and you know they do their signature, they create something, and they do that first. Then there's a technical challenge, which they don't know what it is, and then there's the showstopper, which is the finale.
Gotcha.
And you know, all right, well, tomorrow we'll see what happens. You didn't do good today, but you can do better. And they keep talking about it's tomorrow, this next day. They're all wearing the same clothes every episode. I mean, for the entire
They don't even
episode.
change?
No, they don't
even
change.
try.
And they keep saying it's a different day, and it's like, why are you pretending that it's a different day if you're not changing your clothes? How difficult would it be to change clothes?
Making an effort.
Right. Or just say, all right, well, you know, this is going to be one heck of a day. These are tough people. We're going to give them 13 hours of baking, and we'll see who survives.
Yeah.
That's all. It's just, you know, a little truth in advertising kind of stuff is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, they don't even try.
Yeah.
I mean, I try and at least fool you from morning to afternoon.
Right.
You know.
And my question to you is, why? Because it's the same day.
Yeah, I understand. But, you know, some people don't watch us for days apart.
Right.
And they might look at it and go, oh, I've already seen that show.
Ah.
So, and they're separate shows.
But I'm giving our audience more than enough credit to realize that there's Bollocks this evening and the show that's on in the morning.
But if the clip just is on me,
Yes.
which
Which it often is, Blake, isn't
which
it?
happens because the beard draws the camera in. It's like a tractor beam.
He knows who covers his rent.
Tractor beam to the beard.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so if they just look at the thumbnail of it
Right.
and it's me wearing the exact same thing, they're going to go, oh, that's a duplicate, and go. That's in my mindset, whether
All
it's
right.
real or not.
Okay. Just, you know, if you have logic behind it, that's all that matters.
Whether it's real or not,
Okay.
that's what's in my head.
All
So
good.
what's thing is that is after the show? Do you want me to make like a reel about you explain why you changed your shirts then?
Make a reel about it being real.
Okay.
The real.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, and real quick before today's topic, there was a big announcement today from the St. Augustine Youth Services. Though you and Amanda are going to be the auctioneers for part of their holiday auction.
Yeah.
Is that
So
correct?
it used to be Mike and I, and Mike has conveniently been out of town the last 2 years. So last
plans his
year
travel
was
schedule well.
Pete and I, and Lenny, you're off the hook because you weren't here last week.
Okay.
And I asked Amanda, and she said yes.
Okay. Good
If
for
Amanda
Amanda.
had not said yes,
I've done it before.
you would have been my auctioneer wingman.
I have experience.
Yes. So.
Good. Well, I think Amanda will do a wonderful job.
Oh, she will. She will. Say, Mike's like, well, Amanda's way funnier, and I was like, yeah, she is way funnier, but you know, him and I dynamic is very Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin.
Mm-hmm.
So guess which one I am?
Hey, lady.
Hey, lady. Yeah. So it's a different dynamic between all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all three of them happen to work, but you know,
Yeah.
it's just a different dynamic. All right.
Good. And when is that? Let the people,
It's
let the people
October
know.
12th, and her and I, because there's music all day and auctions all day, her and I get things started on the auctioneer side at 3:45.
Okay.
So there's a lot of great stuff they collect, and they do throughout the year. They're collecting for this auction. They save the good stuff for Letty at the end. I think Letty's at the end again.
Okay.
The big bucks. You know, I mean, we always finish second. Mike and I and
Right.
Pete and I, we finished second. A couple years we won it, and Letty didn't like that a whole lot.
Ooh.
So Letty stepped up her game and brought in some big guns.
Okay. And where is this?
It's at Trade Winds.
Okay.
So it's one of my favorite fundraisers. It's one of the few fundraisers I get to do, and there's a naked lady on the wall.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the October 11th.
October 12th.
October 12th goes all day at Trade Winds.
Yeah,
and you're in the afternoon.
We spring things off at 3:45. There's a band right before us, I think, that starts at 3. They do an auctioneer. then they do another band, then they do an auctioneer, and then they do another band, and then they do an auctioneer, and then they do another band, and then you're too drunk to realize you're raising your little paddle, and you spend a lot of money. And that's what it's all about, because it is a great nonprofit here that does a lot of wonderful stuff for these young men.
Well, we're going to have to come down there and bid on some stuff.
Yes, that would be wonderful. So I told you that phone was going to go off. It didn't ring, though. Blake, can you text Vic and tell him I'm on air?
Got him.
Doesn't he know your schedule by now?
Yes, he does.
Come on.
Yes, he does. All right. So yesterday we talked about lies conservatives said about liberals.
We were going to.
And this was our headline.
Right.
And lies liberals said about conservatives. But we had a discussion about Chicago. So I wanted to see what the highest crime rates in the country were. So I'd like to knock this out first, because I think this one's going to take the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But what I discovered, and it was from security.org. All right. And there was a couple different ways they did the measurements.
Okay.
All right. First one they did was highest total crime rate per 1,000, or per 100,000. Okay. All right. These are big cities. Then they did highest violent crime rates by 100,000.
Okay.
Then they did property crime by 100,000. And then they did the data metrics of highest and how it all came together if you combined everything.
Okay.
Okay. That one goes a little deeper. And but number one on all four methods is Memphis, Tennessee.
Surprises no one.
All right. Number two on the crime rate is Portland. Number three is Detroit. Now, if we go to violent crimes, Detroit is number two and Baltimore is number three. And Portland falls out of it for violent crime.
Okay.
All right. So
that's property crime.
Property crime.
And
Portland's back to number two. That was okay. Okay. It was overall crime rate.
Right.
Violent crimes. And then property crimes.
Are they counting? Did you notice if they were counting carjackings as property crime, or is it just?
I think it depends if it has a gun. So.
Interesting. It's hard to take your car if they don't. Honestly, I would think.
No,
you're an older lady, right? Yeah, right.
You're older lady, older man. You're just like, take my car. So I think if it has a weapon, it changes that. So, but Memphis is by far. So just going off of the first matrix, the overall crime rate, it's Memphis, Portland, Detroit, Seattle, Baltimore, Denver, Nashville, Philadelphia, Houston, and San Antonio. Now the violent crime rates shift around. There's some that come off and some that really move up. Memphis, Detroit, still holding, in that top five. Baltimore, Houston jumps up quite a bit. Nashville jumps up quite a bit. Denver, Washington, D.C. comes into the mix because of
where Washington was.
Yeah, because of the violent crime side. Then Philadelphia is holding where it's at. Indianapolis and Phoenix. All right. In the overall matrix, after you put everything together, because I did it to find out where Chicago is. Chicago did not make the top 10, but it did make the top 20. All right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't have numbers beside it. It ranks 15th behind Washington, D.C. in the overall matrix. All right. And that matrix is going to sound very similar than what was out there before. Detroit in the overall matrix somehow drops, even though it sounded like it was, but it doesn't have a whole lot of property crime.
Right.
So it's Memphis still leading. You're still champs. You're still horrible. It's still the most dangerous city. And I've been to Memphis. I still didn't feel like it was as bad as St. Louis, but I was only at the ballpark when I was at Memphis.
Okay.
So I've been to Memphis. I've been to,
the Redbirds, huh?
I think I've been to every city here. No, I haven't been to San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco. All right, here we go. This is the list, overall matrix, just a quick rundown. And you guys tell me what you think, because St. Louis, I don't think, makes it into any of these. Memphis, Portland, Seattle, Denver, San Antonio, Philadelphia, Nashville, Detroit, Houston, Baltimore, San Francisco, Charlotte, Mecklenburg.
Yeah, it's like one big berg.
All right, North Carolina, D.C., Chicago, Dallas, Indianapolis, Louisville, Austin, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth, Columbus, Las Vegas, San Jose, New York, Phoenix, Boston, Honolulu, San Diego, El Paso, and Los Angeles.
See, it's interesting.
Not a single Florida city made it on there.
Not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was going to ask where the alleged hellhole of New York was, and it's pretty way down that list.
Yeah. New York,
So,
New York City.
Chicago, New York, scream all you want, but
Columbus is ahead of New York.
considering the size of those cities and the the entire makeup, economically, socially, racially.
Well, and this is where I was at with some of the stuff that we get, because if you hand pick it to your matrix, and I think this is by a company that seems very neutral, security.org.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
And it wasn't like from the New York Times. It wasn't from a true media outlet. It sounded
Right.
like it came directly from statistics out there.
Nonpartisan.
Yeah, kind of a nonpartisan thing. But nothing in Florida made it. And Atlanta, which I was expecting, didn't make it in there.
Okay.
So, but two cities in Tennessee.
Nothing in New England outside of,
Boston's in there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Boston made the overall when I got to like the top 30. It made the overall. But I mean, he's still pretty far down for as big a city as it is.
Right.
I mean, cities you would think that would be fairly safe, that's above New York, is like Austin, Texas. I think of Austin, Texas. I think of music festival. I think of
It's a state capital.
State capital. I think of all this love and hug and all that stuff. Columbus, Ohio. I've been there many times. But I don't know if I just didn't go in the right area, because every
Right.
city on this list depends what area you're in.
That's exactly right. I mean, like I said, we're in Chicago for a week. It's a thriving, vibrant city. Everybody's out on the street. The weather was magnificent, by the way, for September in Chicago. But I'm talking, in neighborhoods. We were in tourist areas. We were at 3 museums down by the lake. We were, on the south side of Chicago. We were on the north side of Chicago. We were up at Wrigley Field. We were down past the United Center. We were in Chinatown. I mean, we were in every neighborhood all over the city and didn't see any issues with anything.
Yep.
Now, there are parts of Chicago that I would not necessarily go to, where there's a lot of, the original and biggest housing projects in the country were there for quite some time, and they're a little bit interesting. But I'm not going there. And if you have your head about you, you can sort of avoid a lot of this stuff. So, it's a lot of it, not to say it's self-inflicted, because if somebody's going to come for you, they're going to find you. But it's all a matter of where you are, when you are.
Yeah. And if we have time, I want to talk about this day in history that I did this morning.
Good, because it wasn't in today's paper.
Yeah, because I got to find it again. If I can find it. But it was an interesting this day in history because it involved St. Augustine.
Ah, yeah, yes.
So, we had the first Hispanic, and I'll give you a tease on it. His name was Joseph Marion Hernandez, and he becomes the first Hispanic elected to Congress in 1822. And I didn't realize that St. Augustine held that honor.
Right. Well, considering it, it just turned over. Was it 1821?
21.
Turned over?
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and it wasn't.
So
It wasn't even a state yet until
Right.
45.
Right.
So it was still.
he was a territorial representative at that time.
Yeah. So,
cool.
but I just found it very interesting. I really didn't know a whole lot about this gentleman, and I read about it today, and it kind of intrigued me. All right, let's get to the story before, because we're already 20 minutes in.
We're getting yelled at again.
We gab so much. Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to go back and forth, and you give me your thoughts. Let's see, make sure I got them in the right order. There you go. All right, just like that. That's how it goes. All right, so I'm going to do a conservative lie, and then I'm going to do a liberal lie.
Okay.
Okay. And what these are the top 5 lies one side says about the other.
I'm not saying necessarily we need to call them lies, but it's pronouncements because, you know, it's their position, you know, and you got corrections on you have the reality
Okay.
underneath
If
it.
you're defending the liberal side already,
I'm defending
is
both
not gonna-
sides.
this
I'm
is not
saying
gonna
I'm
work.
not calling them conservative lies either,
I can tell you, the guy sitting in the middle,
right?
I look at these as lies because they
Okay.
know they're obviously not 100% true.
I'd like to believe that, but you know,
Yeah.
some people believe too much of this.
Yeah,
All right, carry on.
that's the whole thing.
Carry on.
That's the
Right.
whole thing
Right.
is until we can say these aren't true,
Right.
we can't bring everybody together.
A lot of work on that front.
Yeah. So, all right. First lie conservatives says about liberals. Liberals hate America. Obviously, they don't hate America.
Right.
I mean, to me, there's a lot, there's a lot of liberals that are very, very patriotic. They believe in addressing the flaws that we have, and they want to actually take action to make America better. So, you know, it's one of those things where it just frustrates me when that side, when the right says this about the left, and it just makes no sense at all. All right, here's a lie that gets thrown around way more than it should: liberals about conservatives, and it is an easy attack point, and to me, it is one of the most frustrating things I get sitting in the middle watching this. And today I sent my thing back to Vicky Oaks.
Okay.
I had to
good.
redo my signature.
Right. We all do.
And I was close to just doing nonpartisan, but
We got to change the
like-
registration on the
yeah,
phone?
but
Okay.
and I was going to go away from a Republican, but I have too many friends that are running for office that
you need
obviously
in the primary?
that I need to help in the primary. So I ended up, but I was if it wasn't the way the primaries are set up here, I would have went back to non-party.
And I agree.
All right, but here's the biggest lie, in my opinion, that liberals say about conservatives. Conservatives are all racist. Now, some of my closest friends are conservatives,
Mhm.
and some of my closest friends are from different cultures. So how that has stuck and the media has grabbed a hold of it and called people racist, because it's a very damning word. I don't know if you've ever been called a racist. I have in public. I have in public.
Honey, I've been called Pharaoh by a minister in a city council meeting.
Yeah, well, running for office and being in office. So
Pastor
I
Miller,
understand.
you know damn well that was not true.
Yeah,
But you were trying to make a point, and you didn't do a good job of it.
yeah. So to me, that's the biggest one. These first two ones are conservatives. Stop saying liberals hate America. They don't hate America. They hate some of the things that are going on. And hate's a
Right.
terrible word.
Right.
Let's not use that word hate.
Right.
They want a different America than you want, but that doesn't mean they hate America. That's all there is to it. And the fact that they have the right to do that, that's what makes America great. So stop saying they hate America. And liberals, stop saying that, you know, whenever you run out of an argument, stop calling people racist.
Right. It's just not true, and it doesn't solve
It ends
anything.
the conversation, and that just means you really didn't want to, you didn't have enough argument to your point if you have to use that. And that's the same going for them saying that you hate America. All right. Now, these kind of get a little further out there. All right. Those two were the main two ones that I felt like if we can work on those first, some of these other ones will fall in place. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you agree that those are two that we really have to work on from both sides?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is what conservatives say about liberals, which is absolutely not true. Liberals want socialism, communism, and to destroy capitalism. Absolute lie.
Correct.
Absolute lie. But they use it as a weapon all the time.
Right.
If in doubt, they use it as a weapon. All right.
And by the way, some of the, and there's, in looking over the research for today, because I knew this is what we're going to be doing because we talked about it for a couple of days. There are social democratic countries, which are primarily Scandinavian countries, which happen to have the highest quality of life and happiness scale of most of the countries around. So, there's got to be something going on with that.
But yeah, then here's my argument to that. Okay. What's the cultural diversity of those countries?
Not very.
Yeah.
They're pretty homogenous.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what is the Asian population in those? What is the black population in those? What is the foreign outside population? It's pretty easy to keep it's like saying there's no crime in the Amish. I mean, it's on a larger scale.
I saw that movie with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but it's on a larger scale, but you can't compare the two.
Right.
Okay. So I mean I hear that argument, and it works here, but
so you're saying there's a racial quality to the fact that it works so well in those countries? I mean, it's still social
they're of the same
programs.
Cultural mindset.
Okay.
When you throw 20 different cultures into a mix, they're going to have a different mindset. What's the religious? What causes war?
Yeah, property, money, and religion.
Yeah, and you take that religion out of it because a lot of those are non-religious countries.
I don't know how non-religious the Scandinavian countries are necessarily, but they might be.
Blake, look it up real quick.
They may be.
Actually, no, I have my iPad right here.
Ooh.
So.
Let's see you work the new toy.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
Well, but that's the old toy. I'm working on the new one.
He's got the new one in there.
There you go. I think Blake will be faster anyway, but let's go.
Yeah. But
Can't even call you a boomer.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's primarily Lutheranism.
Yeah, right.
Lutheranism.
Right.
But it doesn't. Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty much one religion or non-religion, and this is Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. Okay, and Faroe Islands.
Faroe, yeah.
Faroe?
Yeah.
That didn't look like Faroe to me.
Okay. Is that Faroe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Faroe Islands.
Yeah.
I believe. But don't go by me because it involves spelling.
So, yeah.
It's where salmon comes from sometimes.
Goodness gracious, guys, come on.
So how many people are texting you right now?
Yeah. That was the father of the last person who called me. So, yeah. So I mean, there's not a lot of religious diversity in those countries that we just named, and that's why I'm saying it's like making a meatloaf with turkey and making a meatloaf with lamb or beef or something else. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
So the ingredients are different.
But I don't know how the fact that there's less religious diversity in the Scandinavian countries impact their social programs and the fact that they're they're socialistic democracies.
Like, where did you just come from?
Ireland.
There
you go.
Do I have to continue this argument?
What's the problem?
What was the biggest conflict in Ireland, Blake?
Religion.
Bloody.
What? Well, come on, man.
Thank you for making my point.
But
the Troubles. Damn.
Yeah.
And again, how does that play into
literally signed peace on earth on one of the walls that was used to protect they used to separate Protestants
segregate?
and
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason why I can't go to Ireland.
Song about it.
That's what I'm
Have you
saying.
not heard
Okay,
Zombie?
Blake, I'm trying to finish a point here, but you actually completed my argument for me.
Why? Because the religion over there, what does that have to do with social programming and being a socialist society?
The socialism that has success has almost zero diversity in those countries. There's no conflict between Christianity and Catholicism or Muslim or Hindu or any of those. Pakistan and India.
Yeah.
What was their biggest conflict?
Again, Hindu and Muslim.
And
Religion.
Exactly
Right.
it. And who has the power over those?
But neither of them are socialist democracies.
people- Are you seriously not getting this point at
No,
all?
I'm not getting this point.
Okay.
I think we're talking.
If
I hate
all
to bring it
people-
up. It's
no.
an apple and an orange again.
No, it's not. It's the reason those countries have success is they're of like mind background. They're of, if you took somebody from this city in Sweden, he's going to look an awful like the person in the next city over.
Sure.
And they're going to have the same like mind beliefs.
Yeah.
They're going to have the same like mind growing up. They're going to have the same like mind. There's no diversity. That's the only way there's any resemblance of a social democracy working. It's the only place is in the areas where there's no diversity. There is no diversity in those countries. If you throw in the mixed diversity, it all falls apart very quickly.
Okay.
I mean, so show me a country that has diversity where social democracy has worked. If you can name one.
Well, I was going to give you the antithesis to that, in the fact that you look at Russia when it was communist and then socialist, and they had no religion. There was no state religion, and it was a failed experiment. So it didn't work.
You know
but
why?
it was also homogenous in the fact that it was all one people's. I mean, there's not a lot of diversity in Russia.
That religion never went away.
It just was outlawed.
It was outlawed,
Right.
But it boiled up and created the conflict.
What about Canada?
What do you mean? What about Canada?
Are you trying to look for like a country that has like a good amount of diversity, but also is like socially democratic as well?
There you go. Thank you, Blake.
You think Canada's working? Okay, wait a second. I want an honest answer out of the two of you. Do you think Canada is working
As far as what, you know?
as a successful country of what they've done? Their policies have crushed their economy. Canada is in a deep recession, depression, and it's been there for a bit. And they keep recycling these social democrat instead of going away from capitalism.
It's a good thing their new prime minister's an economist.
Yeah, good thing. We'll see how that works out, because he's going to get fought against by the other side,
Right.
because the other side has a little bit, got him outnumbered by a bit.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: the election took place like months ago,
Right.
and guess what happened? They like everyone thought the conservative leader Pierre Poilievre was going to win.
Right.
Like the conservatives thought they were going to win, but no, the liberal party held on to a minority government.
Right.
Yeah, because they keep shooting themselves in the damn foot.
They don't want a guy that's basically just. But here's a big thing.
You might want to look at their economy, and you might want to look at how their economy got there. Okay, it might be diverse, but it is a failing country right now. And if you don't think Canada's a failing country, why do you think Trump can strong arm them so much? You know, it's a failing country. All right, here we go. So that was the lie. We were talking about liberals want socialism. Not all liberals want socialism. Some of them do. New York City's mayorship, I think, is going to be, or is it the governor? Which one's he running for?
Who's that? New York City?
The socialist that's running.
Mayor.
Mayor of New York
And
City.
Adams dropped out.
We're going to see how that plays out. All right. All right. Liberals think this about conservatives. Conservatives hate the poor and don't care about inequality. Here's the difference. All right. A lot of times, and this is, I don't want to throw a blanket over anything, a lot of the Democrats think the wealthy don't help the poor at all. All right. I've never been given a job by a poor man. Okay. They think that wealth, because he has money, that means I don't have any money. And that's not the way it works. If he has more money, you're going to get more money. This is a raising tide situation. And liberals believe, and as a young liberal, I believed this. I believed, oh, this person's getting away with not paying these taxes, especially about Elon Musk. And they
Right.
let's throw a raw number on it. Okay, let's throw a raw number on what they're paying in taxes. And if you put the raw numbers side by side of who's complaining about, what's the guy Buffett everyone complains about? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, this billionaire, never pays any taxes. His secretary pays more than him. Okay? It's an absolute lie. It's an absolute lie. What Elon Musk pays in just income tax could pay for probably the entire state of, I bet
Delaware.
I bet it could go with a big one, like Delaware, one where the other president. So I would love to see what those numbers are compared to like an entire state's budget. Because he probably pays for as much as what the budget of St. Johns County is, which is like $1.7 billion. Okay. I bet he easily pays over that. Right. In overall taxes.
But doesn't Musk get like most of his most of that fortune from like Elon Musk isn't like in like hard cash? Like most of it comes from stock, correct?
But he has to pay on the dividends of what he spends.
Right, but not on the portfolio value.
No, not on the portfolio value. So he's still the highest taxpayer, and if you throw in employee tax and you throw in all these taxes, that guess what? Poor people don't pay employee tax. You know why? Because they don't hire anybody.
Right.
So, you got to add in the entire portfolio. You can't just pick and choose the stat for your benefit. And that is what Republicans do. It's what Democrats do. All right, here we go. Number 3.
And I have Elon Musk's tax numbers for you if you'd like it.
Okay, I'd love to hear them.
Okay. So, 2021, he paid $11 billion.
$11 billion.
Okay. 2018, he paid $0.
Okay. He's still $11 billion in the...
2014 to 2018, he paid a total of $455 million.
Okay. Here's where I want to go with the 0. This is just on income tax?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's just on income tax.
Federal, yeah.
That's just on the federal income tax. That doesn't include property tax, ad valorem, which is what we live off of. We don't live off of income tax. Income tax...
2015, $68,000 and $65,000 in 2017. Because his compensation is socked in net salaries.
See, that's what I'm saying right there. That is just that component of it. What's he paying in employee tax? What's he paying in all these things?
Well, but that's not him.
You have to do the accurate.
But that's not, employee taxes are not him. That's his companies. It's SpaceX is paying them. You can shake your head all you want. Elon Musk is not going into his pocket to pay for SpaceX's employee taxes and workers' comp. He's not going into his pocket to pay the Texas staff.
If he didn't pay those, where would it go? Into his pocket.
Then he wouldn't be making it. If he didn't pay those,
that's
he wouldn't
what I'm
have
saying.
Those companies.
He is providing that money for the rest of the world. And you're acting like he doesn't. You're acting like he doesn't pay taxes at all.
No, I'm just trying to show you that what he pays and what he doesn't pay.
And you're proving to me right now that this is what a lot of people think on the left, because without the rich people. By the way, the rich people pay for a lot of the nonprofits more so.
Some do, some don't.
Then more so than the other side.
Because they have more to do. It's easier for them. Plus, it's a tax deduction.
It is not. Okay. Another lie. It's another lie. It's an absolute lie. You can only give so much that you get to take off of. That number is only around $10,000 to $100,000. After that, you're still taxed at that same level, and you're giving it. Tax deduction, when someone comes to me and say, oh, you can write it off of your taxes. Guess what? I've already hit that number.
Thank you.
Okay? I've already hit that number before I'm giving. Tell me what the cause is. I'll give to your cause. Don't tell me it's a tax deduction.
Right.
That doesn't win, and it's an argument that's not true. That just means people who say that just haven't given enough yet. So give enough, and when you get there, then you'll understand where the argument is. Don't say it's a tax deduction. It's a tax write-off. You can only write off so much, and these guys are given in the billions. So, all right, here we go. This is a lie that I really hate, and it goes back to the Russians love their children too. Republicans say liberals are anti-family and anti-religion. Some of the most religious people I know are Democrats. Some of the best family people I know are Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an absolute bullshit lie. And you got to stop saying it, because guess what? The Democrats love their children too. So absolute lie. Here we go. Liberals say about conservatives. Conservatives are anti-science. I don't think anybody's anti-science because technology creates their business. So
I'll just leave that one out there because it'll take the rest of the show.
Okay, go ahead. I want to hear it. No, I brought this in for this discussion, so I want to hear it because
there's a disbelief in science now in a lot of parts of the country, specifically medical science.
Okay,
nobody's arguing that rockets can fly. Fine, that's science.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody argues that you can push a button on your phone and through the magic of wavelengths and microwaves and whatever, you can get information right in your little hot hand. Who cares if he's a U.S. citizen? Good for him. But, right now, science is under attack. Research grants are being cut left and right.
Yeah, and that's because the institution is doing that. It's not research grants. The biggest problem with where they're saying science is a problem is both sides are guilty of this. Both sides are getting their beaks wet from the lobbyists and passing shit through. You cannot tell me the vaccinations had to be looked at. Okay, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and I've said it many, many times.
Right. And your point about separating them is very valid.
And I can tell you, I would love to see, why we have vaccines for diseases that were dead 100 years ago.
Dare I mention measles?
How many people that died of measles?
11, and I never met any of them personally, and it's probably more than that.
And we have 330 million people.
So those 11 deaths don't matter?
They do matter, but how many people you think died of an infected hangnail? And you don't have a vaccination for that?
I don't know there is the vaccination for that.
Staph infection.
And I don't know that there's a vaccination for that.
But the numbers don't equate to the number
spent on the development of the vaccine.
The number of children we've taken out of our society because of the vaccinations and where they're at. Because
right.
I do believe.
Give me a number of how many children have died by getting a vaccination for measles.
By getting a vaccination for
how many
measles.
people died
Well, it's hard to
from
tell because they put them in with 9 other fucking vaccinations, Lenny. So I mean, I
understand your point is separating the vaccines, which is a lot easier way to track if there's an issue with one.
Why? What diseases were created? What diseases were created from 1970 to 2000? Just 2000, where we had to go from 17 necessary vaccinations to over 70. Tell me that is not the lobbyist. That is not science. That's the fucking lobbyist.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's not saying that.
So you're telling me that today children get inoculated for 70 diseases?
70. It's over 70 different vaccinations that are all balled into one. All balled into one. And it's not all balled into one, but it's like 4 different shots that you have to do. But it's the lobbyist that's creating this. I challenge you to go and watch Jim Carrey, because it goes back to Larry King and it goes into the mid 2000s. Jim Carrey and what's the girl, the blonde haired model that he was dating?
Jenny McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy. And go back and just watch that interview, because everything they're saying then is happening now. And the lobbyists on the pharmaceutical side have taken over what's happening to our families. It's not the left. It's not the right. It's both of them. So it's both of them. So conservatives do believe in science, and I want our children to be healthy. But my sister, who had a heart attack 2 years ago, has a completely healthy heart, Doctors said she had a completely healthy heart. Luckily, she was saved by her neighbor. And the only explanation the doctor could give her is the reaction she had to the vaccine that was pushed upon us.
Okay.
So, I almost lost my damn kids,
Right.
And I'm thankful
Fortunately,
because
right.
they work so hard and they're loving and amazing guys. But there's a lot of families that kids are spending, they're never going to be in the workforce. And it could have been avoided if it wasn't for Big Pharma.
Okay, and I'm not quite sure where you're getting the 70 diseases because it's 14, according to the U.S. National Immunization Schedule.
14 different shots?
14 different diseases covered by the shot or shots.
Okay.
Not 70, 14.
Okay.
And they're familiar for the most part. And some of them are recent, because now they're doing HPV and RSV are included in that too. So, but it's COVID-19, which is also new. But it's diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis.
COVID-19's in the vaccinations for kids now?
Well, it's in the U.S. National Immunization Schedule, recommend vaccines in children and adolescents, yeah. And there's a big conversation now on whether or not hepatitis A and B should be given at birth, too. There's two different schools of thought on that. A lot of it depends on whether or not the mother is a drug addict or had hepatitis. So, but it's, so you've got diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. You've got influenza, hepatitis A and B, flu, Haemophilus influenza type B, measles, mumps, and rubella, MMR, pneumococcal disease, polio, rotavirus, chickenpox, HPV, meningococcal disease, and RSV. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
and I think the RSV and the HPV and the COVID are all recent.
I can tell you because when I did my walk, those were the numbers.
Okay, I'm just looking at what I'm getting here.
Yeah, those were the numbers, and I don't think what site are you even on?
I'm on the magic of AI Google.
Okay. And these are ingredients that are in there. There's aluminum in the vaccines.
And deodorant, not a good thing.
Yeah. All right. But we'll talk about those too. Formaldehyde is in a lot of the vaccines.
Also not good. It's a preservative, right.
Yeah. White sugars and ammonia, preservatives.
Yeah, but that's a different conversation than the fact that there's 70 diseases. The makeup and the preservatives and the inactive ingredients in those vaccines is also an issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, inactive ingredient. And where I'm at with vaccines is I think you're already predisposed. And if you
30
have
to 40 shots, Josh. Josh is saying by the time you're 18, you get 30 to 40 shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had like 4. And I had to be bribed to get my tetanus shot to go to sleepaway camp because I didn't want the needle.
Yeah.
I got over that.
All right. Vaccines for your children. All right.
Anyway.
But the point is conservatives are not anti-science.
Okay.
They're not. And there might be some.
We're also, these are, the lies are sweeping generalizations.
Mm-hmm.
The realities are a little bit more, not even nuanced, just a little bit more accurate in reality.
All right. Here we go. This is lie number 4. Conservatives about liberals.
Okay.
Liberals want open borders and no law enforcement.
Mm-mm.
All right. And this is not the consensus of liberals. Unfortunately, the way Biden handled it went too far the other direction to try and bring back the Latin vote, and it backfired.
Didn't work out too well.
It backfired on him. And so don't put a broad brush on liberals about that. It was a bad policy, and now the other side has probably went too far in the other direction about that. All right, here we go. Conservatives want to control women's bodies. All right. Not all conservatives want this. This is a topic that most conservatives avoid, except for the evangelicals. Now that one, when an evangelical gets in place, it becomes a dangerous thing because they've gotten too far from the center.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't say all conservatives want to control women's bodies.
Yeah.
because it's
Well, these are all,
yeah.
the lies are all sweeping generalizations and overbroad.
There's definitely like all like general like broad like because like current like situation because like you have like the Supreme Court that has like how many of evangelicals are currently on the Supreme Court right now that voted for on the Dobbs case.
I don't think any of them consider themselves evangelical.
I don't think any of them I would consider as evangelical. I think you will have some that have
I think the
religions, and that is actually the next lie. That's the fifth lie.
I think the majority of the court
is out
Catholic.
there, and I'm agnostic. You're agnostic.
Yep.
Like you're agnostic.
Yeah.
We're all one of those people that's like, maybe someone's right.
Hey, let me know.
But I don't know.
I'm open to it.
I just want to watch football on
Yeah,
Sunday.
I don't know. I don't know.
I want to sleep
So,
in.
but
It's a good thing
liberals,
the Jags play on Monday this week.
liberals try and claim conservatives are all religious extremists, and that's not true. I mean, there are definitely groups out there that are extremists. I'm not denying that.
And there's extremists on the left.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the final one, and this is one of those big lies too, is liberals. This is conservatives say about liberals. Liberals are all easily offended and snowflakes. There's some badasses on that side.
Yeah, there are.
So don't underestimate your opponent.
Right.
But unfortunately, right now in our society, we have one party that is dominating the other party, and the other party's got to find a leader.
Yeah.
And until the Democrats
And it's
can
not
find,
Chuck.
it's definitely not Chuck.
And plus also we'll say as well like for those like that like make like comments like that say like, I'm just triggering the lefts. Well, sometimes you actually do make comments that actually is actually offensive though. That does deserve to be called out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like I'm just triggering the left by just saying these comments. No, you're being an asshole sometimes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's if we can start with these 10 and find that common ground, and just start with number one. Not all conservatives are racist, and not all liberals hate America. And there's very few on both sides of that applies to.
Right.
Yeah.
As a percentage of who's in each of those parties.
Okay, so you ready?
Yes.
I got some numbers for you in
What
that
you got?
case. So in the GOP today, 77% of them consider themselves conservative. 24 of that 77%. So 51 or 2% consider themselves conservative. 24% of those 77% consider themselves very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the Republican Party. 18% consider themselves moderate, and 4% consider themselves liberal in the GOP.
Mm-hmm.
Democratic side, 55% of the Democrats consider themselves liberal. Of those 55%, 19% consider themselves very liberal. 34% consider themselves moderate, and it's either 8 or 9%. I can't tell what number that is in my own handwriting. Consider themselves conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in 1992, 43% of the population consider themselves moderate.
Okay.
In 2024, 34% of the population now considers themselves moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives held state are still at 38%, and that's been pretty steady over the last 30 years. That the conservatives have stayed at about 30%. Liberals were 17% in 1992, and it's up to 25% in the last 30 years. It's up to in the last it's 25%.
And here's the other catch to this, and it's kind of on every culture. Liberals considered a bad word in a lot of ways. Conservative is a badge of honor in a lot of ways. So that already shows the dynamic of who's in power and who's not right now. And that's why we got to have the American Party. So we got to have
we got to get the moderates back in the middle.
We got to get the blue and red there. But the problem is with those moderates, the people, which I feel like I'm in the middle there. The problem with that moderate is there is a stigma attached to being a liberal, and then it's almost, you've been to cocktail parties that we've been at where we're like, whew, wow, that was extremely conservative.
Yes.
And you and I look at each other like,
Right.
whew. And then we've been at cocktail parties and went on the other side.
Yep.
But the conservative side is considered okay, where the liberals, more left-leaning, is considered not acceptable. I mean, and it might be the community we live in,
Right.
which we're dominantly conservative. So, but I'm a guy in the middle, and I think I sent you a meme that I felt like the left is pushing me there, because the left, to me, is grabbing onto the wrong content. Not saying that their content is wrong, but they're grabbing onto things that are less significant instead of fixing the big problems.
Well,
And I think we got to fix the big problems together. And I don't think the left's grasped that concept yet.
the left is putting too much weight onto cultural issues that don't affect as many people in the country now as they used to. I mean, transgender rights, whether it should or shouldn't be a civil right, it's a personal decision on a lot of people to decide what sex you want to portray yourself as or identify as. But it's not a major swath of the country. And to go to war over the 10 or 12 college transgender athletes is pretty much a waste of time and effort. Not necessarily for those people who want to compete, but it's not a fight worth picking, and not a fight worth losing partisanship over.
And that's where I think they've lost a lot of that vision.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you've got the whole healthcare issue, and the right is poo-pooing healthcare for A, poor people, and B, moderate income people who now are caught in between the cost of getting health insurance, the cost of medical care when you get it with or without health insurance, and if things don't change, the sticker shock for getting, if you're in the ACA, if you're in the Affordable Care Act, and they crush those subsidies, the Kaiser Family Foundation, which is nonpartisan and has the finger on the pulse of most medical information in the country, is saying ACA premiums is going to go up 114%. People are going to have some serious decisions to make at that point in time about keeping health insurance or not. And, if you've been sick in this country, it's not inexpensive.
And we do have public health care, because if you get sick, you go to the emergency room.
Right.
You can't,
and we pay for it, and by I mean everybody.
Everybody pays for it.
Exactly.
So,
and that's not a workable system either.
It's not a workable system.
Especially if you chase more people into the emergency room. Hospitals are closing left and right.
Yeah. And the thing is we still take care of our people, but there's not healthcare. Like, people in your great country, what was that country up north?
Canada.
Yeah. Ask them about their healthcare system.
Yeah.
And how long it takes for them to get through the process.
And in England too.
And by the time they get their cancer treatment, well, they're dead.
Okay. Now most of those surgeries that get delayed are like the elective surgeries that aren't emergency needed at the time. But I do think for emergency surgeries and cancer, they'll get them on time. But
I'll tell you this. I know of at least 2 people that have come to the U.S. to get their treatment, because they weren't going to get their treatment. They were put on a schedule. And when it's something as an evasive cancer treatment, you can't be put on a schedule.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. There's flaws in every system, but I at least want, even if it puts me in the poorhouse for the rest of my life, I'm gonna do that for whatever my family or whoever my family member is. So,
yes, we will.
That was a great show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being honest and the candor with it. And, hope Blake, you got some reels in there, leave out the F-bombs that I dropped in the middle, because we're talking about big pharma. So,
the big pH.
yeah. But a great show. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I wasn't able to keep up with the comments over here. I think, Lenny, you were participating, so thank you for...
Josh and I were trying to work out number of shots and the amount of
the
vaccinations.
dosages.
So he wasn't talking about 40 shots. He was talking about
the doses that are within the shot.
Mixed in one shot type of thing.
Yeah.
I still don't remember getting 18 shots. I mean, I probably had...
Yeah.
but I was younger then, and there was a lot less going on.
How many shots did we get when we went to Africa?
Well,
There was a
whole
lot of
different thing.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
That's
still-
for
there's
international
still-
travel is a different animal.
Yeah, that one. I mean, they give you a little card with it.
Right.
You're like,
the malaria ones.
here's all the ones you
Right,
need.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
we'll say that like the worst one was the malaria pill, not the malaria. Yeah. The rest of the shots were just like
That one
one-time
flushed
things.
me out pretty good.
Oh, well, that's things right out.
Woo.
Good to know.
All right. But thank you guys. I really
We'll be back
enjoyed
tomorrow.
doing that show. We will be back tomorrow. Support our amazing sponsors. And thank you for our sponsors for
Hey,
allowing
hang
us
on.
having an open dialogue like this.
Time out.
Yeah.
First half of tomorrow's show, we're going to do the lies the liberals tell about conservatives.
We already did
That was in there.
Oh, I thought we just did all the conservatives lying about the Republicans.
That's
No.
oh, no,
because,
that's right.
because you're the liberal. You didn't hear the other part.
See
You
how that works? No, it's just because I have no short-term memory.
It was tick for tack. I
Right.
went back and
All
forth.
right, okay, I have no short-term
And
memory.
I got
You know what
on-
I focused on?
And I got
ADHD
exactly. I got on both sides. So I don't have a friend out there anymore. So
I'll be your friend.
Thank you. All right.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay.